Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we are doing your higher self identifying what blockages you have and how to release it. And to do this reading we are going to be picking out 3 piles together. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what they are. Right, so for pile number 1, we have Serene. For pile number 2, we have Blessed. And for pile number 3, we have Joyful. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, we have the Sodalite. For pile number 2, we have the Cherry Quartz. And for pile number 3, we have the Amazonite. There we go. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles you're the most drawn to. And that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, as I always say, trust your intuition, because whether you're drawn to one, several, or all, your intuition is your magic and it will always guide you to the right readings, as you know. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, welcome to the shuffling and the card picking process. It is always a pleasure having you around during that time. And let me introduce the cards that we are going to be using in this reading. On the left are the oracle cards, and on the right are the tarot cards that we will be using. So the way that I'm planning to do this is to separate each pile into 2 parts, taking a good look at the blockage and then a good look at how to release it. So I'll be using these 2 decks for the blockage, identifying the blockage really well. So what is their higher self's identification of the blockage that they may have? 1, 2, and 3. All right. Now, let's get into this deck. Thanks. What is their higher self's identification of the type of block or blockage that they have, please? There and there. Okay. There we go. So yeah, that part has to do with the identification, and then the second half we'll be taking a look at how to release it. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now let's take a look at your tarot cards. We will be using 2 for each part. So what is their higher self's identification of the type of blockage they may have? And how can they release it, please? There we go. Next. Thanks. There we go. Moving on to the next deck. And two. And two. And two. Right. Right. So our 3 piles are now ready. This one will be our divider when we start the reading. So that's how we know that this is the second part of this reading. There we go, one hefty reading. I'm sure this reading is really going to be helping you out. Find exactly, getting messages from our higher selves. No one knows us better than our higher self. And I'm sure your higher self will be able to identify it super easily and help you out as well, knowing you very well. Right, so let's put the piles neatly together. That is pile number 1 with the Sodalite. Pile number 2. There we go. Pile number 2 with the cherry quartz. Pile number 3. think I want to move this one a little bit to the side carefully, yeah, so that we don't disrupt it when we start the first pile reading, which sometimes happens. I pull a card and then it disrupts the others. There we go with the Amazonite. And I believe your reading is ready. Thank you for sticking around. Always love having your energy. I always feel it. And I feel so blessed. It's one of the best things in my life, having you guys around. Thank you so much. And let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Sodalite as well as Serene. So we have Serene on one side and Agitated on the other side of this main card. Let's keep your main card right there. Ooh. And if you've watched the preparation process, we are dividing your reading into 2 parts. First part, we'll take a good look at what this blockage is, because identifying something well is half of the challenge solved. So let's take a look at what your higher self, who knows you best, identifies this problem exactly. Stay in the present moment. Do you see that? Serene, agitated. And then you have stay in the present moment. Let's take a look at what it says on the other side. Keep your attention on today and stay in the present moment. This is the beginning of a new understanding, a new dream. I feel like a new you. Okay. You have Goddess. Wow. The feminine, that's a light attribute. The feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Interesting. Now, the shadow attribute is exploitation of the female nature and form. All right. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. So, you have, wow, the 6 of Wands. You have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the 4 of Swords. The 7 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you figured a lot of things out. It's just this one that's not very clear to you, and your higher self is here to finally unveil the situation for you well. You have the 2 of Wands, the Magician, the 2 of Cups, and you have the Knight of Swords. Look, pile number 1. It's really amazing, the synchronicity here of how both of them have their arms up on their heads. I feel like, in general, pile number 1, you are a magical being by nature. You are someone who, in a lot of ways, attracts many things to their lives. We see the energy of you being a great manifester. But here is the situation. There is lack of peace sometimes in your life. You can get agitated maybe a lot. You are looking for serenity and peace. What I see your higher self showing you here with the Goddess energy and the 6 of Wands, you are someone who naturally shines. You're someone who is meant to go in a certain direction, albeit slowly with the 7 of Pentacles. You're meant to go on a journey where things happen, at least in the beginning, slow. And the reason I say slow is because you have the 7 of Pentacles in conjunction with the 4 of Swords, showing me with the Magician that you're attracting something great. You're constantly creating change in your life, or you're looking forward to great change, which you will succeed in creating. But here we see a little bit of slow energy with the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords literally speaks about a pause in life, a pause to think and reflect. So in both cards, we see slowing down. And so perhaps things aren't going in the pace that you are expecting with the Knight of Swords. We see here the Knight of Swords, one of the fastest knights in the deck, a little bit agitated. You feel like you have done everything that needs to get done, and the results are slow in perhaps many areas of your life, different areas in your life. And believe it or not, sometimes with the infinity sign here and the infinity sign here, this is really connecting this. Sometimes the very same emotions that want us to get something we deserve, and it's true, could be the same emotion that could be taking it from us at the time being, or slowing things down for the time being. Because we now we stopped being in the flow of manifesting. Remember, with manifestation, we're not supposed to be so attached to something. And sometimes, yes, we deserve something and it is coming for us. But we have to have inner peace and serenity, letting it go, knowing and believing fully that it's happening. Putting in the effort, the work, and just living in peace until it does. And that's why I see your advice here as stay in the present moment. Because your serenity, your peace of mind, and your happiness is more important than what's to come. So I really see your higher self speaking of a block that is preventing you from being at peace and happy, and kind of slowing down the energy flow of your success. Not that once you are serene that it's going to move quicker. It won't slow it down anymore, and it's going to happen in its divine time, pile number 1. So what I'm trying to say is, for example, let's say it takes a car 5 minutes to go from location A to location B. If we put a lot of weight on it, that it puts it down, perhaps it's much tougher for this car to reach the same destination in 5 minutes. Maybe it's going to take, 8-9 minutes, hypothetically speaking. Okay, so not that if you take the weight off of the car that it's going to happen now. It's still going to take the 5 minutes that it needs to take, but it's going to do it effortlessly, it's going to do it quickly, and it's going to do it in a shorter time frame. That's what I'm seeing here. Not to mention that there isn't pressure on the car. The experience for everyone in the car is wonderful. And sometimes there's the concept of real physical time and how we experience time. And we know this by feeling that the month of the year have flown by so quickly that we didn't even feel it. You'd be surprised sometimes to feel, my goodness, how did this year flow by so quickly? Even though rationally they are the same 24 hours, they are the same days, everything in terms of math is exactly the same. But how we experience it is different. And so here is the same thing. Perhaps it's going to take the same time, but you will feel that it flew by so quickly. And that is the difference here. So we see a blockage in your peace, which is the most valuable commodity that you have in the world. Your inner peace, vibrating that high. And you will see, pile number 1, once you get into that flow, you'll be you're a great manifester. You will be manifesting exactly what you want. You will see the energy with the Two of Cups reciprocating back. You give out this beautiful energy and it always gives you back. with a little patience and know that everything is done in its right time. Okay, so now that we've taken a good look at the blockage, let's get into more detail of how to release that, right? Let me clear this out and come back. All right. So, pile number 1, you have learning. Oh, let me adjust that. There we go. So you have learning, right? You have the 2 of Pentacles. The Page of Swords with the represented as the Page of Voices. The Chariot. The Tower. You have the 10 of Pentacles. The Page of Cups. The 7 of Cups. And you have the King of Pentacles. Oh, great manifester. Right. Do you see here, pile number 2, centering your reading with the Page of Swords represented as Page of Voices? We see here with the twirling that ideas erupt so quickly. Obviously, you're a very smart person and your mind operates really quickly. And before you even notice, many ideas have happened at the same time and oof, you're not feeling good straight away. Before you even had the time to think, whoa, what happened there? So we really see the advice of learning to quiet the mind, of noticing this pattern, bringing balance into it with the 2 of Pentacles. Going back to feeling, why did I get into this anxious state? Why am I so agitated, for example, that my dreams didn't come true yet, or that this didn't happen yet, or this and that, and to realize that all of this is not worth it for you to feel like that, since it's going to happen anyways in its own time. And so here we see Shiva shown with 5 heads. Let me show you the card up close. There we go. We see Shiva presented with 5 heads, and it's a sign that it's a sign of the 5 senses in their most potent aspect. So what do we see here? The idea of pausing down, letting it rest once you notice that these thoughts are going this way, and saying it's not worth it. It's going to happen when it happens. And look, there's a promise here. Your dreams will manifest, will come true. They always will. With the 10 of Pentacles here, they always will. Do you see? You are an amazing manifester, pile number 1. And I don't like to say things just to make someone better. I like to say the truth, because it's rather you find out exactly what the issue is to solve it, rather than just be told things. And that's why I do a lot of these readings. So I'm not just telling you that. I'm sure you know it, pile number 1. So really your higher self is telling you that you will come into balance once you set an intention, work on it, strategize, and let it go. Instead, focus on the present moment. Exude gratitude, happiness, enjoy everything around you, and find serenity. More important than being agitated over what didn't happen yet. You will find that you will live a much happier life this way. To just let it go and to believe that everything will come to you, because it always has and it always will. Maybe not always in the exact form we want, but you will always find that things manifest in the form that is best for us. And in the meantime, enjoy life. Enjoy the present moment. Enjoy the beautiful things around you. And with learning here, this is a learning process. It won't happen overnight, but it surely will happen. You know, they say it takes really, even, this is not just a fad. Even Dr. Caroline Leaf, who's a really famous neuroscientist, she even talks about this. It does actually take a couple of weeks, not exactly 21 days, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it is around that time. When you're very adamant and persistent about a new habit, you do form a new way of thinking, new neurological pathways in your mind, and the way you think shifts, and it no longer becomes automatic. The old things, they no longer automatically play, because now you have a new video or a new film for your mind to play. And so you'll find yourself automatically from now on exuding and vibrating serenity and happiness, manifesting what you want towards you. Yes, in divine time, but they will be coming to you, and you, at least in terms of not the materialistic world, but in the real world we're living, it will come quickly, just like a year passes so quickly and we're like, whoa, what happened there? In the same way, pile number 1. Yeah, you even picked the Sodalite here, which is all about rational thinking, psychic thoughts, as well as, which is the third eye, as well as the physical thoughts. So really, it's all about finding peace within first. So pile number 1, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 1. This book could really help you out. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. And you can this way enjoy doing your tasks, finish them quickly, and go along your journey faster than ever. This book has all the secrets into how to become a productive person. It also helps you learn how to do it in a fun way and enjoy that process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 1, it was a real pleasure doing this reading for you. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful cherry quartz as well as blessed. What a beautiful card. So you have blessed on one side and desecrated on the other side. Let's keep this card here and take a look at your reading. So we've divided your reading into 2 parts during the preparation process. The first part will be taking a good look at what this blockage is, how your future self is identifying it to you, because no one knows you better than your higher self. And your higher self also is offering that solution. Again, no one knows you better, so I believe they will find the best solution for you. That's why I wanted to draw that energy from your higher self into today's reading. Okay, so you have child divine. Wow. So the light attributes are innocence, purity, and redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. You must be very special, especially with the blessed card as well. Pile number 1. So the shadow attribute, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. Okay, this is so beautiful, and I see what's going on here. You have ask for what you want. What a beautiful card. So on the other side it says, find the courage to ask for what you want. Others have the right to tell you yes or no, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everybody has the right to ask you for what they want, and you have the right to say yes or no. This is looking very significant, right? Now let's take a look at your tarot cards, and together we'll get a clearer picture. You have the Queen of Pentacles, Wow, the Queen of Cups. I feel here with the two queens, you're meant to be an all-powerful being. And of course, having that type of connection with the divine or source or universe, I'm not surprised. You have the Three of Cups. Let's keep this here. You have the Five of Pentacles. You have the Page of Swords. The Moon. The Six of Cups. And wow, the Ten of Pentacles. You know, with the Six of Cups, I can right away see that childlike innocence within your soul. So we see a combination of two things in your reading. With Child Divine, I see both aspects of being an old soul and having that beautiful childlike innocence at heart. So you have the wisdom as well as the beautiful innocence. And we see here the idea of the blockage being in the area of perhaps dealing with others. It's with the area of dealing with others and speaking out your truth, saying exactly what you want to say. With the Moon, you may not be always able, even if you want and even if you have the courage to, sometimes you're not sure how to go about and communicate it with your high empathy, pile number 2. It could also be feeling left out in the cold when interacting sometimes with others because of maybe the fact that you didn't like the interaction. We see a lot of gathering in your reading. It's like your heart craves this connection. But with the Five of Pentacles, you're feeling left out in the cold. I see that it's some communication blockage here, pile number 2. Dealing with disrespect, especially that you have desecrated here. So yeah, you want to connect with others. But there's this block of having maybe to cut them out, or you feeling cut out because of the disrespect. And so here we see a blockage due to confusion, not knowing what to do. It is not about weakness, because you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. You are yourself a very balanced, strong, independent person. But I feel like you just want more information with the Page of Swords. You want to learn how to deal with this sort of disrespect. Quite interesting. So the issue here is not getting over, as the card here suggests, not getting over being courageous. Here we're talking about learning to deal with disrespect. Okay, and you are seeking information on how to do that. Quite interesting. Thank you, higher self. Your higher self is highly intelligent because this was so organized. Let's now clear this out as we've identified the blockage exactly. And let's see how your higher self is advising you, knowing you best, how to deal with that. Oh, before I clear this out, I just noticed something so quickly and I had to let you know. Do you see the sword? You're treading on a very tricky. You feel like you're on a tricky path at the moment, trying to learn more about this, trying to deal with others. And look, pile number 1, you've actually gone a long way. You've done, see, with this hole here, this means you've actually done a lot of work, and you've taken a lot of risky things. You've protected yourself. You've learned how to protect yourself in so many ways, actually. See, I told you I felt you were already mature and courageous. And I see here your higher self telling you there's only just a little bit. Oh, you can't see. I'm so sorry. There we go. Your higher self telling you, okay, how about we keep it here? There. There's only a little bit left. You're about to step into that power of fully learning this lesson. Pile number 2. How interesting. Okay, sorry to interrupt. I just had to tell you what I saw as I was about to collect the cards. And let's get into the second part. All right, so now let's take a look at your cards. The second half of this reading. We have creation. We have the Emperor. The Lovers. Wow, the Lovers twice. This is significant. Okay. The Four of Wands. The Ace of Cups. Wow. What? Okay, you have the Page of Pentacles. You are someone who exudes such beautiful power. I knew it from the beginning. You have the Knight of Cups. And you have the Tower. So here, I really see your higher self telling you to deal with situations with so much peace and enjoyment. You see, to choose so much peace and enjoyment over being triggered. Because with the Emperor here, we can clearly see that when you exude happiness, love, stability, and comfort, you appear as strong. People don't feel like they have taken the reaction that they want from you. And that's really here the strong secret that we're seeing. It's super obvious. See, we see the idea of not trying to control the outside world, but take control of yourself. Take control of your heart in specific, to not feel the trigger, to not feel the knockdown. Do realize, pile number 2, when there is disrespect, someone is trying to take a reaction from you. Don't give it to them. If you exude calmness, love, and happiness overall, you do not give them the reaction that they're looking for, and therefore you stand strong. And it's therefore you are not waiting for someone to give you that respect. Nobody gives you respect. You take it, and you take it by not responding to the silly things. Always remember, someone disrespectful is trying to take a reaction from you to feel good. Do not give it to them, and you put them in the weaker position. In fact, for your own guidance on how to control your emotions and not feel triggered, we have here with the creation, you see, let me pull it out. The 4 heads here reflect Brahma's position of the Lord of creation, and each one of these 4 heads, they represent yourself: physical self, rational self, emotional self, and intuitive self. And we see they're all in one form, meaning that when you're triggered, You're not able to think rationally. Your physicality changes. Even your intuitive energy shrinks. And talking about intuition, you are someone who's very strong intuitively with the child divine. You are someone who is blessed with intuitive powers. You feel energy, and just as you feel energy, you being such an energetic force, you also exude powerful energy. So think about it this way. Maybe you get hit by energy quickly, but when you are in power, you exude energy. And you will notice, pile number 2, when you are in that emperor form, you will notice that you're very intimidating. And so back to the point here, they're all in one boat. When you're triggered, you affect all of these energies. And so when you're not, you're exuding the same power that makes others feel smaller, the ones who meant to disrespect you. Really, this is what I'm seeing here as your advice, pile number 2, in terms of how to take control of how you feel. And it's something that you really can do. It's not something that is a fad advice. I will leave a link to Dr. Caroline's Leaf's book. I always recommend her book. She's amazing. She's a neuroscientist. She doesn't know I exist. I genuinely do recommend it. And she's a neuroscientist who has been doing lab exams with other neuroscientists for 20 years. And she wrote this book called Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess. And she teaches you the same process that she does with her clients to help take control of our minds. And as a summary, it's all about training ourselves to think in the way that we want it to, not just let it go. Thinking is one of the important things that we do. She says we can go without eating for a couple of days, without water for 3 days, and without a breath for a couple of minutes. But you cannot go a second without thinking. And it's really important to learn how to regulate it. It's not out of your control. And see, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups in the very beginning of your reading, we can clearly see you are a higher being. It's like just like the picture shows, you're nearly there. You've done a lot of work, perhaps over centuries. Who knows? And here you're learning to overcome and heal a certain wound, maybe in the heart. And so it's really easy. You are a powerful being. I saw it from the beginning in the first part. Now train your mind to not feel the trigger. To not feel the trigger. Know that, to understand that someone is trying to do that, and that they're doing it because they feel weak. The only way they get power is by deflecting and projecting their weakness onto others. So they have their own journeys to heal. Don't take their journey and try to solve it yourself. It's for them to solve. And hence, don't feel the trigger. You can get hit the first time and realize it was a trigger and calmly push it away. And so we're not always in control of our environment, but we are in control of how we react to it. And hence, like I said, once you feel the trigger the first time, you go, okay, that was a trigger. I'm not taking any triggers. Thank you very much. You calmly push it away and not react to the other people hitting at all. Just stand in your powerful position, pile number 2, and say, no, I don't get triggered. And this way, believe me, in a couple of days, weeks, you're going to feel this effect one day after the other, if not right away. And as you go along, you heal it. If you feel like you're going back, remind yourself of this energy, because it's a habit. And sometimes when we're in the very beginning of a habit, you feel like, oh, I've got the hang out of this. Be careful. In the beginning, you're prone to going back. So whenever you feel yourself going back, put yourself back into that position and function from there. Little by little, pile number 2, you will see that you will get into your powerful force that you truly already are. And you will not have this disrespect or this disrespect problem with others anymore, because you don't wait for respect. You take it for yourself. So, pile number 2, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. Your higher self truly is straight to the point, my goodness. Very organized. Showed everything clearly. The first part, second part, amazing. Pile number 2, I am one of your big fans. I wish you were in real life a next door neighbor or something. I would have loved to connect with you. So pile number 2, that was your reading. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 2. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But really, it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying this process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. Pile number 2, such a pleasure. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Amazonite, as well as the card Joyful. On the other side, it says Sad. So let's see what this is about. In the pile preparation process, we have divided your reading into 2 parts. The first part, we're going to be taking a look at what this blockage is exactly. Like I said, no one knows you better than your higher self. So they are going to be identifying this to us very well. And then we'll take a look at their solution, again, knowing you well. So here we have Mediator with the light attributes, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. And the shadow attribute, we have negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Okay. Let's keep this here. You also have take action on your ideas. Really cool. Okay, let's read what it says on the other side. Doing your best means to take action. You can have many great ideas in your head, but without action upon an idea, there will be no manifestation, no results, and no reward. Okay, let's see. Right, so you have the 2 of Cups, presented as the 2 emotions here, right? You have the 2 of Swords, interesting, 2 of Voices, represented as 2 of Voices. So we see 2 conflicting emotions and 2 conflicting voices. That's what I really see with these 2 together. 2, Mediator. Okay. You have the Magician. The 7 of Pentacles. Justice, again, the balance, unbelievable. Wow, the alignment in this reading. You have the 10 of Wands, right? The Moon. And the Devil. right. The moon in conjunction with the devil really says it all here. So, I see pile number 3. Your higher self pointing out a blockage that is keeping you sad. And so here today we're going to try to solve it easily so that you can free yourself and be happy. In fact, with the devil card here, do you see? It's an illusion. What you think you can't do is an illusion. Let's get back to this card when it's time for it. So what do I see? I see with the magician here that you want to manifest something into your life. You want to create something or do something in your life. You wish you can have the patience to allow it to grow. Pile number 1. But what I see, pile number 3. But what I see is conflicting emotions and conflicting voices. Part of you really wants to do it, and the other part feels burdened and feels the weight of taking the action. It's probably really heavy. Maybe you need a lot of things to do to manifest what you want. I see voices in your head. Part of you really wants to achieve it, and the other part is doubting, not knowing where it's going to take. If you put in all this effort, would it really actually do something? And you do see the moon in conjunction with the devil card. Now it's time for me to introduce this devil card to you. You do see here with this devil card a beautiful mermaid stuck. You think that this mermaid is actually stuck. But if you look closer, surprise, surprise, is there enough lighting there? The lock is open. The lock is not closed. And perhaps you think, why is this mermaid there then? Why doesn't she or they free themselves? Maybe she is looking after some gold in return to her freedom. And so we see here the idea of you wanting a dream so much, but perhaps keeping yourself stuck because of several things. The weight, you can't, you feel like there's so much to do and you're not sure if it's gonna work. And for that reason, you're keeping yourself stuck in a metaphoric cage that is actually open. And we see your higher self telling you that if you do take action and be patient, things will come into balance for you. You will be able to do it, and you will find your joy. The magic energy will work for you, and you will manifest what you want. The idea of the blockage here is to do what your heart is calling for, regardless of the end solution. And you will find that joining the path that speaks to your heart will always lead you to amazing results. Whether it's that thing that you have in mind or something even bigger and better and even more amazing. At the end of the day, it's all about taking action, and it's not about taking little action. It's getting all in. You know, pile number 3, I will tell you a private dream that I had. It's a really magical dream once. There was this time in my life where I felt very stuck. I used to wake up every day and I used to work every day, and there weren't any results. And there was a time where I just didn't know what to do. I was really lost. I was putting in a lot of effort every day and nothing was happening. And on that night, I dreamt of my late grandfather, who was such a smart person. The people around him at work and in my family, they used to call him a genius, and I think he really was a genius. Anyways, my grandfather was very wise, very smart. He always goes quiet and tells you something ingenious. And this is exactly what happened in my dream. I cried to him during that dream, explaining to him how hard I tried and it's not working. And I cried my heart out on that night. And the dream felt so real. He listened to me empathetically for what felt like half an hour. And then he told me, after some silence, you know, Reem, the world isn't a classroom. The world doesn't care if you try your best. You're not in a classroom. Your teacher's not going to give you a star on your forehead for doing your best. You have to do what needs to get done. That is the only way you will achieve what you want. And then, right after his words, I was suddenly in a classroom and the teacher was handing out the result of the whole year. And I looked at my paper and I found an F. And I was like, oh, after all this work, I got an F? And I was shocked. And I was like, my grandfather was right. I did work all year, but I really didn't do exactly what needs to get done. No one cares that I'm trying. And I woke up. So really, it's not about putting in the effort and trying to go one step ahead of the other by pulling our legs every day. It is about having a dream, knowing clearly what needs to get done and getting down to action and making it happen. So here, in all cases, we see your higher self talking about a blockage of finally moving on these beautiful ideas that you have in your heart. You will find that you will manifest these dreams, my dear pile number 3. You will manifest these dreams. It's all about stepping into your power and letting it go of ideas that are hindering you, that are absolutely not true. So now that we've had a good look at the blockage here, let's take a look at what your higher self is advising you with in terms of how to easily remove this blockage, knowing that it knows you the best. I'll clear out the cards and come back for the second half. All right, so you have acceptance. Very wise higher self. You have the Hermit. Right. You have the Four of Cups, represented as the Four of Emotions. You have the King of Swords. The Page of Pentacles. Wow, the Nine of Pentacles. Your dream coming true. The Page of Wands. Strength. And the beautiful Five of Cups. What a beautiful Five of Cups. We see pile number 3, acceptance, all over your reading. With the Hermit card, really the solution lies right there in this card. To accept the fact that some things have a journey to achieve. And taking it step by step makes it less intimidating. And so here we see your higher self telling you, free yourself from the idea and the weight of feeling like you have a long way to go, and accept that huge successes come from little incremental steps done day after day. And before you know it, you'll find yourself to have taken a long shot that you wouldn't have imagined if you just stay persistent. And we see with the Four of Cups here, yeah, it talks about lack of acceptance, and the Five of Cups feeling the lack. And we see here embracing this journey, pile number 3, truly embracing it and accepting it and saying, you know what, it's a long journey, but I'm going to do that for myself. I'm going to start today with the Page of Pentacles to take the beginning of my step and free myself from all of the burden of having to live every day, knowing that I can do something and not do it. And you see here with the acceptance card, the mandala here. This is, by the way, the Anahata chakra, or the heart chakra. And you see the 12 red points here of this mandala representing the lotus flower points. And we can see growth coming from happiness, pile number 4. Growth coming from acceptance as you open up your heart to the idea that it's okay for things to take their time, and rather enjoy the journey and enjoy the little steps, to tick off these little steps one by one, and to see yourself every once in a while making a huge leap. You will find that you're more than capable of making this your dreams come true. And here with the King of Swords, your higher self is telling you, get organized. Write down what you need to do. A huge intimidating task cut down into little tiny slices will not feel that intimidating. And from there, take a slice every day. Take a slice every day. And before you know it, you will be super energized, because you will realize that it's going faster than you think. You'll find that you've done a lot of things that you thought were impossible back then, that you thought were overwhelming, and that's gonna fuel you even more to continue on your journey. And you will find that you will create amazing things that you would have never thought you could have done by just taking these little steps. You know, in fact, most people don't take the first step. And if you, at the beginning, just take a step of, let's say, opening up a Word document and writing that first line of your book, or opening up, shooting, for if you want to shoot a course, if you want to create a course, and to shoot that first line, even if it's not perfect, and that you're going to delete it and shoot another. Of organizing your desk so that you can not your desk, I mean organizing your kitchen so that you can start cooking healthy meals, and so on and so forth. Whatever it is, that one little step, washing that one cup, or writing that first line, just to do one little thing to start, you should congratulate yourself, because right there and then you've just done something most people aren't able to do, and that's to just start. And once you take that first step, pile number 3, you'll make little incremental steps every single day, and you'll be proud at the accumulation that these steps are harnessing to achieve one big thing every once in a while. And before you know it, you'll find yourself further down the line, and you won't believe it, pile number 3. So yes, you see, take your goal and slice it into little pieces. Get yourself organized, and just talk to yourself into taking that first little step. Open up your heart to enjoying yourself, enjoying ticking off these little slices one after the other, and being proud that you've done something that felt so heavy, and that you are being and embodying the person who you want to be. So pile number 3, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed. I'm rooting for you. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you, if you want help with being productive, I always say this, I do sell a productivity book. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it in the first place. But really, it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away. And the reason I mentioned it right away is because I can see what this reading is all about. This book could really help you. And in fact, there's also an audiobook that you can listen to if you love audiobooks like me. And if you're interested, you'll find this ebook down in the description box. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and pile number 3, I'll catch you in the next reading. Sending you so much love and good luck. Bye.